Welcome to the Path to Purpose interview show, where we share our unique and universal stories about finding and fulfilling our purpose. My name is Katja, and I'm your host and a mentor for Lightworkers. My intention for this show is to inspire you on your path to purpose. Today, I have a pleasure to interview Rachel Smets, who is dedicated to inspiring people to live their freedom lifestyle. Having lived and worked in several countries, she has learned to turn every challenge into a new opportunity. So we will be here for a treat to learn more. And she's a freedom lifestyle guide, TEDx speaker, culture trainer, and author, on a mission to inspire fellow solo travelers to live abroad successfully. Rachel shows how to plan your next steps, create connections, and adapt to a new country effortlessly, so you can thrive and feel at home in any country. So let's find out more about Rachel and get her best tips about how you can start living your freedom lifestyle and experience more the joys of travel. So welcome, Rachel. Thank you
Wow, what a
for
lovely
joining.
introduction. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Katja. Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here to share your tips and have a fellow traveler as well to join us, because so many people always ask, like, how do you do it? So I am excited to learn from you. And also, let's start first, like, can you share a little bit more about you and where you are now? Because let's put you on the map.
Okay. I am now standing in the Netherlands. That's where I'm standing right now. But like you said, I'm traveling the world, and I'm in different countries at different times. Actually, my home country is Belgium, and I have not lived there for 16 years now. So one day I will return, but not right now. I'm not ready. I want to continue traveling and living in different countries. So I've lived in many different countries, and in about a month, I'll be in New Zealand. So I'm really excited. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's possible. So how did you start this traveling journey? Did you always know you're going to travel, or was there an awakening moment that led you to this path?
Yeah, for sure. No, I was definitely born and raised in a family that are living their entire lives in the same house, the same town, the same job, the same everything. And I was in my early 20s, and I thought, okay, I have a great life and financially doing well and a great job and a great family, but I want to explore the world. And I was in contact with a lot of expats and people living in other countries. And I just thought, oh, it feels so exciting. I want to know what it is. And I started exploring that. And for me, my drive until today, I always keep thinking, I don't want to grow old thinking, what if I had done it? I want to do whatever. I just want to experience it and not just sit at home thinking, I wish I could, or look at them and look at her and look at him. No, I want to do it myself. If I feel stuck in my life or a little bit unhappy, I want to change that. And it's exactly how and why I want to help people with that stuckness as well, because life is there to live, and why should we stay stuck and unhappy in a situation that is a routine that we don't like? And so that's, for me, it's my drive. It's like, I don't want to grow old thinking, oh, what if I had done that and that? And here I am. And, looking back at your life, what kind of life do you want to look back upon? So for me, that's experiencing the world and traveling and meeting new people.
Wow. And I love that, because so many people, and if you're one of them listening now and thinking like, I just would love to travel, I would love to have that, like, good for you, you have done it. Like, I hear that a lot. Like, when I went to traveling, I lived in US, traveled to Australia, and people are like, well, easy for you, but then they are not taking that step. So what would you say for somebody who feels like that's what I want, but then they feel the stuckness, they feel maybe fear? So how would what would be the first step if they have that dream?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. You know, you said it all. It's like, okay, what is your first step? And that's what I help people with. Like, okay, what is that next step? Because everybody's unique. For everybody, it's a different situation. Do you have family? Do you have kids? Are you alone? I travel on my own. I'm solo. But even then, it's not easier or more difficult. Not at all. Every person has its challenges. Every person has its unique situation. So it's always about, okay, who are you as a person? What is it that you do now? What is it that you want to do? And what is your situation? What is your family situation? You know, and is moving abroad something for you or not? You know, if you love having coffee with your grandmother or your aunt every Sunday, you're going to miss her like crazy, then maybe, you know, or if you want to be with your friends or you're attached to something back home, then, you know, so it's all of these things that we have to explore. So that's definitely the first step. But you mentioned something really interesting, and that is the fear. And that's the one thing I talk about a lot in all of my speeches. And in fact, last week I published a video, the fear of the unknown. What do you do with the fear of the unknown? Because that's what it is. It's like, oh, what's going to happen? You know, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to like it? Am I going to be happy? Am I not? What are other people going to say? It's that fear of not knowing that you have to break through. And it's the fear. Oh my gosh, I can talk about this forever, but the fear all starts here, right? I mean, everything starts in your thought, because it's here. It's like, oh, what if this and what if that? And what are those? Those are worries, but those are thoughts. It's all here because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen unless you do it. So we create all these worries, and the more we sit in our minds, the more worries and the more insecure and the more fear, you know, and the more anxious, and then suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much fear, and then you just stay stuck. That's what most people do. They don't do it because like, oh wait, well, what if this and what if that and this and that and all these problem scenarios, and in the end you stay stuck. So it's about stepping into that fear and stepping out of your comfort zone and doing that next step, and then the world comes, you know. And for me, I mean, people look at me like, okay, they see my videos, they see me travel. It's like, oh, it's so easy for you and you're not scared. It's like, wait, hold on here. The fear is for everyone. The fear of the unknown is for me as well. I mean, I'm going to New Zealand. Am I going to like it? Am I not going to like it? Am I going to meet great people or not? I don't know. But remember my drive? I don't want to grow old thinking, what if I had done it? So I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and I love that attitude, and what you shared as well, because if we start just dwelling in our fears, they just keep growing and growing, because that's where we put our attention instead of focusing on the dream to experience journey. And one thing I usually tell, and maybe you agree, like, if you don't like it, you always can go back. Like if you test it out one country and it's not for you, then you can always go back where you started.
You can go back, or you can, what happens often is that you see new opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to go back, you know, but you can see new opportunities evolve and then explore new things.
Absolutely. And that's how I actually ended up now in Marbella, because I was returning from US and I was like, oh, where do I go? And I lived in 10 years in Barcelona, and then I was like, I want to just check it out something different. And well, I started again. So what would be, because you also help people who move abroad, and sometimes that journey can be challenging because we move to a new culture and things might not work as home. So what would be your tip to make this experience successful?
Yeah, well, When you say I help people move abroad, it's more that I really help people with creating a freedom lifestyle. And for me, it means moving into different countries because that excites me and that drives me and that gives me a lot of energy. And for some people, it's also a dream of moving abroad. For other people, it could be moving to a new career or a new job. You know, the freedom lifestyle is, again, it's a definition free for everyone to fill in. For me, it's moving abroad. So yes, for those who want to move abroad, because I've been there so often, I'm able to guide people and help people with their steps and priorities in planning that move. What you ask is how you can adjust easily, and that is, I would say, well, I've written a whole book about living abroad successfully and all the steps you have to take. But I think for me, what I really do every single time I step into a new country is create a routine as soon as possible. So think about hobbies. What are your preferred hobbies? For me, it's going to the gym. So I would look for a gym, become a member, meet like-minded people, and it's usually there that I make the best friends for life. Because it's a hobby that I enjoy. It's the place that I meet like-minded people that I can start a conversation easily and I can return to. And it does create a routine for me so that every day or almost every day I have a goal in my day. I have a plan in my day. And I'm not just sitting at home like, oh, you know, I miss my home and I miss my family and I'm Skyping with my mom and I miss her even more. And no, you want to meet locals. You want to meet new people. And I find it so sad, and I created a course about feeling at home abroad and another course about making friends, which I'm really happy to give discounts on that if people want to, because it's so sad when I see people being in a new country for a year, sometimes 2 years, and then saying, oh, you know, I haven't made any friends yet, or I still not really, you know, I don't really feel like home and I don't really find my way. I'm like, it frustrates me because it's not needed. You can meet people, you can meet locals, it's just about finding those ways, like what do you like doing? What are your hobbies? Where can you go? How can you start a conversation easily? And sure, it's some countries it's super easy and in some countries it's not. But it takes effort from your part because you're the newbie in town. So you know, nobody will speak to you. No, you have to put in the effort. I have to put in the effort every time. You know, and I the perfect example is when I was in Canada last winter, it just went so smoothly. I mean, people open up, people talk. I created friends so easily. When I was in France, I did the same thing, but it just took effort. And daily I saw the same people, bonjour, comment ça va? And smile again. And the next day, and they kept looking at me like, who are you? Do I know you? And it took me 3 months before somebody finally said, oh, you want to come over for coffee? I'm like, yay, you know, 3 months. But I mean, so yeah, I mean, every culture is different, you know, for some people, I mean, for some countries it goes easier than others, but it's just, yeah, it takes effort, but it's that connection. And for me, it's connecting to people that give me that sense of belonging. Like, okay, I have somebody to go to, I have somebody to call, I can meet somebody, I feel like I belong here. And that is for me the sense of, okay, I'm home.
And I love what you shared, like that gives you the start, like to build a routine, build something, do something you like, connect with like-minded people, because that gives you the experience like belonging. And I think that's a human nature. We kind of are yearning for that feeling that we belong. And another thing I love how you shared that freedom lifestyle is more than just traveling, like creating the lifestyle that you want to have, whatever it is for you. And so that was very interesting. So we can start dreaming what is for you the freedom lifestyle. What does freedom mean to you? And of course, when we are stepping to this freedom lifestyle, that most likely means a change. And there we might have the resistance and fear, and we might have people around us who don't like our what we want to change. So what would be your tip how to handle situations when our loved ones might not be interested, for example, traveling around the world, and we really truly want to do it?
That is so amazing that you're asking me this question. And for anybody listening or watching, we did not prepare any of this. It's really funny because last Friday, 3 days ago, I published a video. How do you convince loved ones to travel and to live your dream? And it is, family is, I talk about your tribe a lot, okay? You have to select the people around you that motivate you, that give you energy. It is so important to have friends and people around you that inspire you so that you can always move up and improve yourself and become a better version of yourself. But family is something you cannot choose. You have it. You've born and there you go. You know, you can't say, oh no, I don't want you to be my family anymore. I want to select my family. No, it doesn't work like that. So what do you do with family? It's again, I always believe it's a choice. You know, I mean, my family, let me tell you my story. My family, they did not accept at all for me to move abroad. It was like for 1.5 years, they really felt like I stepped out of the family. It was like they hardly talked to me. I mean, there I was moving abroad. I was scared as heck because, you know, for me, it was the very first time. I was 24, you know, and I thought, okay. And then my family didn't want to talk to me because they're like, oh, you stepped away from the country, so you stepped away from the family. No, it wasn't. And so it was a process. But it's, then they finally figured out that, you know, they saw that I'm landing on my 2 feet and I did okay. And, you know, it was a matter of fear. And so it all turned out okay. But I did learn a lot through the years of, with family, you can't select them, but you can still choose for your own self and to better yourself. And the more I felt happy, they saw my happiness and it just turned them around. You know, they were afraid. And so was I. But then during the process, you know, they saw like, okay, I'm becoming a better person. I'm happier. And so, yeah. And so they accepted it, you know? So it's also I had to learn to say no to a lot of things because again, I don't want to look back upon my life when I'm 90 years old thinking whose life, or let me ask you, whose life will you look back upon, yours or somebody else's? Are you living your life or your family's life or your loved one's life? Because you should do that job and you should stay where you are and you should, you know, like another example, I should be married and have kids. Well, no, I'm single and I don't have kids. And because of everybody shoulding, you know, when you look at others and it's so easy on social media, you see all the, you know, everybody doing well and the family and kids and all of that, and you feel guilty. It's like, oh, I should be doing that. Well, no, because everybody's unique, and what you should do is think about your own happiness and your own life and what you want to achieve in your life. And if other people are not accepting that, well, that's too bad. But, you know, whose life are you living? And I'm not saying I don't have arguments with anybody. I don't, you know, I have a really good relationship with my family. I'm not saying cut out, you know, be aggressive here. No, but just, yeah, family is important, but it's also your life.
Yeah, and I think that is a really crucial point. It is your life. So, like I usually say, be the star of your life. Do things that are for you and build the life that you want and build the freedom lifestyle. So if now somebody's listening and it's like, yes, I need the help, and of course contact Rachel. That would be the best step to have that support on your way. But how people can find more about you? Do you have something that could get them started?
Yeah, just Google Rachel Smets and you'll find a lot about me. And I offer free calls where I just already help you with your first next step, and then you can still decide what you want to do. I also have, and I'll give you the links below. First of all, my website, and everywhere on social media, I'm just rachelsmets.com, or just on Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere, Rachel Smets. On my YouTube channel, again, Rachel Smets is the name of my my channel. SMETS is my last name, and you can find a lot of videos with tips and tricks and everything about living your freedom lifestyle. A lot of resources, and my links are all below my videos as well. Yes. And I do have one especially, the 5 steps to creating your freedom lifestyle is a free download that I offer that you can link below to as well. So yeah, I'm happy to help and have a free call, a free conversation, talk to me, chat with me. I love helping people, because it's so sad to feel stuck. So I want you to take action and yeah, do something with your life that makes you happy.
That's wonderful. And I put all the links to the comments, like the description below, so you can easily click them and find Rachel and all her wonderful material on the YouTube channel. Tune in, because that will inspire you as well. And with the inspiration, do you have some final words you would like to share with the people who are watching this interview?
Well, I like to use the quote, just one quote that comes to my mind: life changes and so can you. I'll repeat that. Life changes and so can you. So take charge of your life.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much for your time, Rachel. It has been a pleasure to be here with you and hear your wisdom and hear your story and journey. And hopefully that inspired you who are watching this now. And subscribe to this channel to get the next episode. And thank you.
Thank you for having
Sending you lots of light and love. Bye.
Bye.